Hello viewers, welcome to brand new episode of Campus Eye. I am Disha D Salian. Let's have a look at this week's news. The Department of Journalism, in collaboration with Radio Saran 107.8 FM of St. Aloysius College, presented a street play in Mother Teresa Park on 20th April. The street play was based on tagline Socho, Samjo, Fir Share Karo. This act was sponsored by Pakshala, a pan-India media literacy network which is campaigning all over India. It was an eye-opening performance about the spread of fake news. The student also performed in different locations of Mangalore on Friday and created awareness about fake news. This play was written by Manoj Vamanjur, directed by Meghana Kundapur, postgraduate student of St. Aloysius College, and mentored by journalism lecturer Ms. Bhavya Shetty. Students from different streams took part in the street play. Principal Reverend Dr. Pravin Martes, SJ, and HOD of MA Journalism and Mass Communication, Father William Marcel Rodriguez, SJ, were the chief guest of the event.
ಸುಳ್ಳು ಸುದ್ದಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಬೇಗ ಹರಡ್ತದೆ. ಅದು ವಾಟ್ಸಪ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾಗಳಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಎಲ್ಲದರ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಈ ಸುಳ್ಳು ಸುದ್ದಿ ಹಬ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೇನಾದರೂ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಂದು ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಜನರಿಗಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಒಂದು ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವ ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ರೇಡಿಯೋ ಸಾರಂಗ್ 107.8 FM ಮತ್ತು ಪತ್ರಿಕೋದ್ಯಮ ಮತ್ತು ಸಂವಹನ ವಿಭಾಗ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಒಟ್ಟು ಸೇರಿಕೊಂಡು ಒಂದು ಬೀದಿ ನಾಟಕ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಮಂಗಳೂರಿನ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಈ ವಿಷಯದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಬೀದಿ ನಾಟಕವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಮೊದಲ ಪ್ರದರ್ಶನ ಅಲೋಷಿಯಸ್ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆಯಿತು.
Views the news, and I believe the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication through our college here providing a great platform for our students to know what is news and what is views.
The finale of Aloysius Dance League ADL 2022 was held on 18th April at Mother Teresa Peace Park of St. Aloysius College. Students in their representative group presented different dance themes and styles. Groups performed with all their energies, rap songs and flash mobs impressed the audience. The judges excited the crowd with their graceful performance. The winners of the ADL team up next received a cash prize of ₹5,000. Team Flaming Tornadoes, runner-ups of ADL, won ₹3,000. Winners also received 7 days free membership from Royal Fitness Attawar. The sponsors of the event, Kaushik Suvarna and Vinayak, professional dance choreographer, and Arshita, faculty of BBA, were the judges for the event. Dr. Alvin Disa, the controller of the examination, presided over the program. The student coordinator, Relvin Furtado, Akila Jasmine and Shaila Ribello were on the dais. Sandhya and Sahana Devadiga, the staff coordinators, were present with the dignitaries. The finale of Aloysian Music League 2022 came to an end on 19th April with the winning of the band Vertex. Finale was organized by the Student Council in collaboration with Music Association at Mother Teresa Peace Park of St. Aloysius College. Finale saw the presence of the two special judges, Miss Shilpa Tejaswini Kutina, who is a famous singer and Nightingale of Mangalore, and Mr. Loy Valentin Saldana, music producer, sound engineer, music director, and well-known keyboardist. Prelims for the music league was conducted and 5 teams were selected for the finale competition. Principal Reverend Father Pravin Martis, SJ, Rector Father Melvin Pinto, SJ, and 2 judges and other staffs in charge were present during the finale.
Overall, the experience for Alotian Music League was absolutely great. But the main thing about music leagues or any other competition in college is the coordination that we have with other students. Of course, it's a college event, so we cannot be expecting all the best people to be in our teams. All the artists have been divided into different teams. We have artists with different experience levels in every team. So AML is more about teaching and learning from others. And I think the leadership skills are developed throughout this process, and that's what I liked about AML. And a great experience. I've learned a lot also, how to interact with people, how to maintain a bond with them, how to come to a conclusion with the set list or what songs to select. A lot of decision making I think we've learned during this process.
The Department of Physical Education and the Student Activity Cell of St. Aloysius College jointly conducted an opening ceremony for the upcoming Yoga Day on June 21st, 2022. Mr. Delampadi was the chief guest and guide of the program for the yoga show by the students. Dr. Ishwar Bhatyas, Dean of the Student Welfare, inaugurated the ceremony. President of the ceremony, Principal Father Pravin Martis SG, were present at the event. He shared his thoughts looking at the involvement of the students, saying, "Yoga is a way of life, is the best medication for our body." Director of Physical Education, Mr. Arun D'Souza, also expressed his support and gratitude towards the organizer and students. Some asanas were later demonstrated by the student of Delampadi Yoga Pratisthana. St. Aloysius College Student Council, in collaboration with Dramatics Association, organized the Aloysian Theatre League on April 21st at LCRI Hall. The chief guest of the event was Dr. Chandrasekhar Shetty T. The event was inaugurated with the traditional lighting of lamp along with the prayer and the banging of the drums. Various teams contested and gave their best efforts, but the first place was bagged by Team Angika for their skit Mannina Gombe, which was directed by Mr. Sai Kiran. The mentors for the team Angika were Dr. Sudha Kumari, Ms. Kavita B, Ms. Sonal D'Souza and Sagar Shetty.
ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ದ್ರೋಣಾಚಾರ್ಯರು ಕುರುಬಾನಗರ ಗುರುಗಳು.
ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಜುನನು ಅವರ ಮೆಚ್ಚುಗೆಯ ಶಿಷ್ಯನಾಗಿದ್ದ. ಏಕಲವ್ಯನು ದ್ರೋಣಾಚಾರ್ಯರ ಬಳಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಧನುರ್ವಿದ್ಯೆಯನ್ನು ಕಲಿಸಿಕೊಡಿ ಎಂದು ಕೇಳಿಕೊಂಡಾಗ ತಾನು ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠ ಬ್ರಾಹ್ಮಣನೆಂಬ ಗರ್ವದಿಂದ ಪಂಚಮ ವೇದವನ್ನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಕಲಿಸಿಕೊಡಲು ಆಗುವುದಿಲ್ಲ ಎಂದರು.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಈಗಷ್ಟೇ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಅಲೋಷಿಯಸ್ ಥಿಯೇಟರ್ ಲೀಗ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸನ್ನು ಮುಗಿಸಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಅಲೋಷಿಯಸ್ ಥಿಯೇಟರ್ ಲೀಗ್ ಒಂದು ಹೊಸ ಥರದ ಅನುಭವ ಕೊಡ್ತು ನಮಗೆ. ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ಗಳಿಂದ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬ್ಯಾಚ್ಗಳಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನು ನಮಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು. ಹಾಗೆ ಅದಾದಮೇಲೆ ನಾವೊಂದು ನಾಟಕ ಕಟ್ಟುವ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸನ್ನು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಏನೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದವರನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವೊಂದು ನಾಟಕವನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಟಿದ್ವಿ. ಹಾಗೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಕೂಡ ತುಂಬ ಕಲೀಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿಕ್ತು, ಬೇರೆಯವರಿಗೆ ಕೂಡ ತುಂಬ ಕಲೀಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿಕ್ತು. ಹಾಗೆ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿ ಕಲ್ತ್ವಿ. ಏನೋ ತುಂಬ ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನಲ್ಲದಿದ್ದರೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ದನ್ನು ಬೇರೆಯವರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿಕೊಟ್ಟು ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ದನ್ನು ನಾವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ವಿ. ಹಾಗೆ ಈ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ಒಂದು ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬಂತು. ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಕೂಡ ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
With the growing development of cities and man taking over wildlife, there has been an increased rate of wildlife so-called approaching developed and residential areas. Animals like snakes, turtles, birds and other wildlife usually find themselves lost in the concrete jungles. Today we have an animal rescuer and wildlife enthusiast called Atul Pai. Let's have a conversation and understand more about animals in urban areas.
A journalist in studies and mostly an animal lover and rescuer by heart and practice. Today we have Mr. Atul Pai, who since the young age of 16 has been rescuing animals like snakes, turtles, birds, cats, dogs and whatnot. Let's have a conversation and find out more about our city's animal hero. So good afternoon, Atul.
Good afternoon.
So how do you describe your life as an animal rescuer?
As an animal rescuer or mainly wildlife rescuer, I describe it as adventurous, challenging as well in some situations, and mostly, again, as I said, challenging. That's a lot more challenging job than what we see on social media. because what we see on social media is just like a 30 seconds or 1 minute video, but a lot more goes into it. So somewhere about depends if the snake is in the rooftops and all these things. So it's more difficult for us. It might take up to an hour or two as well, but what you see in the video is just about 30 seconds to 1 minute. So yeah, main thing is challenging and adventurous as well sometimes, because they bite us, we get bitten many times. So yeah, adventurous and challenging both.
For an animal rescuer, time is very important. So how do you manage time?
So earlier when I was in a corporate job, I used to work in a BPO. So we had a shift from evening 6:30 to morning 6:30. So during that time, I couldn't attend any rescue calls. So what I used to do is work in the evening and just sleep for about 1 hour. And I start getting rescue calls in the morning, and I had to attend it because there were no other rescuers who would do it in the morning, because everybody goes for a job and I didn't have a job in the morning. So since that was my night shift, so hardly I used to get a sleep for about 1 hour or 45 minutes as well. So that's how I manage time. That's how I used to manage time. But right now, since I don't have a job, I'm currently looking for a job. So until then, I'm doing it for 24 hours right now.
So what do you have to say about the human-animal conflicts that is increasing day by day?
In Mangalore, I would say human-animal conflict is comparatively lesser compared to what you see in Bangalore or any other state, because in Mangalore they believe something called as you should not kill a snake or you should not kill an animal. But I'm not saying 100% people are like that. Maybe 99% people are like that. 1% somewhere, definitely we find some faults everywhere. But in Bangalore or other states, it's not like that. They do kill, even if they call a rescuer or if they call somebody to help out, they do kill them. But in Mangalore, because of since as you know, the South Canara, the entire South Canara believes in Nagas and cobras mainly, as they worship it. So they don't believe in killing. So that's how in one way we are short of, not short, I mean one way we have a good thing that we don't have much of a human animal conflict, apart from if it comes to a case of leopard or something like that.
Like in India, snakes are mostly associated with lots of superstitious beliefs. Like how do you deal with people, like when you go to a rescue or something like that?
So number one thing, most of the rescuers compared to any other city, what they do is like they go, they rescue, they take money and then just go off. Or some people don't even take money, they just go off. But what we do is, or now it's getting improvised actually, what we are doing is, we go to the rescue location, we rescue the snake, we make sure to educate the people there about the snake, about the wildlife acts that protect the snake or the wildlife, and tell them about the myths and the facts, what exactly it is, and then remove their fear basically. Not completely, because everybody has a fear. It's not like you can't remove a fear completely from a person. They will have a fear, but we try to reduce that fear and give them scientific knowledge, scientific proofs about it. So that's how it goes.
So how important is it to maintain biodiversity? So that too in a city like Mangalore.
It is very important. As you know, biodiversity plays a very important role, even in terms of food chain. The food chain, right? So now what we do is, when you go for rescues also, we tell the same thing. So why do snakes come into their house? Mainly is because of the rats, the frogs. So because of all these reasons. So where rats are there are definitely snakes are going to be there. So main thing what we tell people is to control the rat population. The moment you control the rat population, the snake population will automatically get controlled. But there is nothing to worry, because the moment you control snake population, it's not like you can totally avoid it. But there are birds which eat snakes. There are birds that kill snakes. So the food chain is in a balanced position. But the moment you stop one of these things, what will happen is there will be an imbalance in the food chain. So we don't want to do that. Let the nature do its role. Let us do our role, simply.
During the time of lockdown, so a lot of animals entered the city. Like it is an example like how humans are a big threat to the wildlife.
Correct.
What is your point on that?
It is true that humans are a big threat. Recently, if you have seen my Instagram or WhatsApp, I had posted one status or story where it's a Marathi movie from Nana Patekar. So he was telling that in India, there are about 5 venomous species. That is cobra, crate, Russell's viper, and sawskill viper. And when the kid asks what is the 5th species, he says human. That is true. Rest all of the snakes are important to the agriculture. Only the humans are destroying the agriculture. It's not just agriculture. A lot of, if you have seen places in Mangalore right now, because of smart city is developing, how many trees are getting cut down, how many forests are getting cut down. So because of all these things, animals do come into the cities. There will be humans animal conflict, but as I said earlier as well, comparatively it's much lesser. But people have a tendency to call people here, like for rescues or whatever it is. But when it comes to Bangalore or other places, it's not like that. However, yeah, in time of lockdown, because we were all sitting inside the house, we understood the importance of how animals feel exactly inside zoos or something like that. So yeah, I think pandemic was a blessing indeed.
So what message would you like to give to the youth regarding the forest destruction, like how the global warming is increasing? So how what is the role of youth in making the
main thing is start joining these organizations where they plant trees. For example, I know a person in Mangalore called Jeet Milan Roche. So he plants a lot of trees. You can join along with him. He is a very good inspiration to many youths. So that's how you can join, and you can make Mangalore a better place. But again, you can even involve the forest department. Even they do all these planting of trees. So join these organizations, get in touch with environmentalists, get in touch with the conservationists, so that you can make Mangalore a better place to live. Because the amount of trees that are being cut because of the smart city and other projects, it's really sad to see. But at one point, even we can't help out because the department itself is giving these permissions. So it's a sad situation. But until we raise our voices, there's nothing much going to happen.
How can people be aware of the wildlife and respect animals?
Respect animals, yes, definitely. We have to respect it, no matter which animal it is, be it a wild animal or a domesticated animal, because animals are important to us. As I was telling about the food chain, so similar way it works for all the animals. It's not just wildlife, but it works for all the animals. When it comes to prevention of, some people ask, how do we prevent wildlife from entering our area? Not just snakes, but any wildlife. So as I said, you cannot totally avoid it, but you can prevent it. For example, when it comes to snakes, people say that, we get bitten by snakes. How is it possible? So what people do is, imagine there's a house and you're very confident you're staying in that house for about 20-30 years. You know the area completely. One day a street light goes off and people think that, I'm very confident I can go without lights here. But one day your fate is not proper and you get bitten by a snake. That's how people start, hating snakes. So since childhood, we have learned that, earthworms are farmer's best friend, but nobody considers snakes as farmer's best friend, or wildlife as farmer's best friend. It's not just snakes, it's even entire wildlife, because tiger or leopard is the apex predator and they control even all the population. Similar way, snakes also is one of the predator where they control all the population of rats and frogs. Similar way, there are predators to control snakes as well. So simple small steps that we can prevent from these things to enter or avoid it is by creating a good space of environment, maybe segregation of waste and all these things. Small steps that will help out.
Thank you so much, Atul, for giving your valuable time from your busy schedule.
No problem.
So these are the words of our city's animal hero. Back to the studio.
Thank you, Keerthan. That's all for this week's Campus Eye. Thank you for watching. See you next week. Until then, stay tuned.